Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here with pursed lips as I'm drinking coffee. Welcome to day 1535 of What's She Up To Now, documenting the journey as I transitioned originally in 2016, well, 2017 actually. 2016, I divested myself of my final business, offline business, as part of my divorce. And then in 2017, I was like, I can retire, but I don't really want to. I still have energy. There's things I want to do. There's people I can serve. There's stuff I can contribute to the world. I'm not going to retire. What am I curious about? I'd always been curious about the internet and the online world, but I'd been so busy in corporate America and the offline world, I didn't explore or have time to explore. In corporate America, the internet really wasn't around that much as I was in corporate America. And if it was, there were other departments that were handling that in our organizations. And so I didn't get to really have much impact or much engagement in that area. And then once I left corporate America and I didn't have my gigantic team of people helping me with things in different businesses that I was involved in, the internet was proving itself, and I just didn't make that a priority to participate in it. Let's be honest. I could have, I just didn't choose to until after my divorce. And I was like, okay, I've always been curious about this, watching it from the sidelines, want to jump in and see what I can learn, what I can do, what works, what doesn't work for me and for other business owners. So I created a group called Supersize Your Business, where I work with different business owners in different industries. I personally love manufacturing, so that's one of my favorites, but I also work in other industries with primarily offline business owners, helping them to get an online component or to do things online that supplement what they're doing offline, which has been very valuable during the COVID pandemic and will continue to be more valuable as the internet and different technologies come into play in our businesses and our lives. So done a lot of different things online as well as offline. Excuse me, cloggy throat. Well, today I talked about two topics that were really, really big in the content I was creating. For Supersize Your Business, we did the idiom actions speak louder than words. And just like yesterday when I talked about actions speak louder than words in our annual challenge, the BU 365-day challenge to do one thing every day that improves us, it's a huge topic, right? Action speaking louder than words impacts so many different areas and aspects of our life. It was a huge topic. It's a huge topic to cover in Supersize Your Business. I used it as our idiom today. Huge topic. And I feel like I didn't necessarily do it justice. I'll go back, and as I later, I'll look at the video and see what I actually said. But it just felt like, okay, this is so much to get in one little video. Maybe I should have taken a little bit of time and said, okay, just going to talk about the three key areas that I've experienced and given examples. That might have been more powerful. It could actually have been one that I broke into probably 3 days worth of lessons learned from action speaking louder than words. That I might still do that. I might still do that going forward. But lessons learned every day. I still learn lessons just like we all need to for the rest of our life to continue to become the people that we want to become, the person that we want to become. I guess I just talked about what I talked about. Oh, today our topic for the annual challenge was judgment. And of course, there's different types of judgment. There's legal judgments. There's judgments that we make as human beings on people, places, things, experiences, ourselves, everything. There's judgment for the religious standpoint, judgment day, final judgment, etc. And I didn't really get into that. That is for each and every one of us to decide, what does that mean to us? We talked about judgment, the 6 components of judgment, good judgment, not bad judgment, good judgment, because we want to use good judgment. I shared a story about my sudden cardiac arrest and the impact of judgment and how my thoughts and attention to judgment before and after that event dramatically changed. I mean, it was like a light switch went off, and what I was like before that experience with respect to judgment and what I was like after that experience with respect to judgment, absolute positive opposite change. Definitely a big change for me personally. And so we talked about judgment today. And then our assignment was just go out and pay attention today to your experience with judgment, and then people around you. Judgment. How judgmental are people? And judgmental, right? How judgmental are people being? Because I found that a lot of times it's none of my business. Who am I to judge other people and how they're living their life? As long as it's not negatively impacting other people, I don't think it's my business to judge. Now, I will judge good and evil with respect to, are you negatively impacting other people? And if you're negatively impacting other people, probably not a good thing to do, at least in my definition of good and bad, good and evil, etc. So, and there's a lot of topics around both of those, actions speak louder than words and judgment, huge topics. And so I feel like I could just brush the surface of them, but they're things, entire books and courses are written about. And so it's fun to briefly cover. And then if that's an area of interest to you, you will dig into it more. That's one thing I've learned over my lifetime is if something comes up for me a few times, obviously I want to know more about that. I want to learn more about that. And then I'll go and I'll explore. I'll get some books on it, or I will take a course, or I will go online and research it. That's kind of the purpose of this annual challenge, is to dip our toe every day into something that improves us. And then if that's something that resonates with you, that you feel drawn to, look into it further, get more information on it. I can only share my experience, or the tip of the ice, not even the tip of the iceberg of my experience, right? I can share maybe one experience I've had with the topic that we're having during the day, and that's all there's time for, right? And that's all people need to decide, do I want to look into this more or not? And if it's for you, you will. If it's not, you won't. If the timing isn't right, write it down in a notebook, and then when the timing becomes right for you, or if it comes up 3 or 4 more times, then maybe that's the right time for you to explore something further. Judgment for me, I've been aware of judgment my entire life. I was probably way more judgmental than I should have been, of myself for sure, and of other people. And then after my event, totally different. It's like, nope, none of my business. You do you, I do me. And then we will, unless we're negatively impacting each other, it's not a problem. And if we do negatively impact one another, then actions need to speak louder than words. We need to behave in ways that are demonstrating how we really want to be and show up in the world. So I'm going to say bon voyage. I've got too many things in the fire right now that are coming in, and I need to make some decisions based on my long-term goals and objectives, and do they fit for where I'm going and what I want to do right now? Or are they things that can be put off and go on the back burner? That's it. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow just to fill you in on what I'm doing as I grow and build and supersize my business in the online and offline world, or businesses, I should say. All right, have a great day.